Dear learners, welcome to the Certificate in German Language program offered by the Indira Gandhi National Open University through ODL mode. As you know, in the previous program, we learned about the German alphabets, basic greeting words like good morning, good afternoon, and the ways of saying goodbye in German. In today's session, we are going to learn about how to introduce oneself in German. Now let's have a look at the objectives of today's session. In this session, learner is able to speak the basic sentences like name, place of stay, occupation, etc. One will get to learn the pronunciation and sentence formation with respect to introduction, and of course, getting the know-how of speaking German. Let's see how do we say our name in German. You can see the three sentences on your screen. Mein Name ist Martin. Ich heiße Martin. Ich bin Martin. Now, if you are wondering what are these three different ways, then all three ways are of saying your name in German. Mein Name ist Martin, ich heiße Martin, ich bin Martin. In one sentence, we are making use of the possessive pronoun, and in the other sentence, we are making use of the personal pronoun, that is I. So, let's see these sentences again. Mein Name ist Martin, ich heiße Martin, ich bin Martin. Dear friends, when you are trying to learn a new language, do not always look for a translation substitute. Try to understand things in totality. I know you all must be thinking that the word Name is very similar to the word name, or let's say the word Naam in Hindi. Yes, in German you will find a lot of words which are similar to the words existing in English language or Hindi language. That also makes it easier sometimes to connect the two and to understand the language. So, how do you say your name in German? Mein Name ist Martin, ich heiße Martin, ich bin Martin. If I have to say these sentences for myself, I will say, mein Name ist Prashali, ich heiße Prashali, ich bin Prashali. You can say these three sentences in any of the ways you want. Mein Name ist Prashali, ich heiße Prashali, ich bin Prashali. That's how all these three sentences work. How do we say the place where we come from? Ich komme aus Dehradun. Ich komme aus Dehradun. Kommen here is the verb that we are using, which means I come from this place. Word next to it, aus, is the preposition. Ich komme aus Dehradun, I come from Dehradun. And how do you say the place where you are living? Ich wohne in Dehradun or ich wohne in Deutschland. Wohnen means to live. It's a verb here, and therefore the sentence means that I live in Dehradun, or ich wohne in Deutschland, I live in Germany. People, I hope you know that what is Germany called in German? Yes, you are right. It is called Deutschland. And what is German called in German? Yes, it is called Deutsch. So, Deutschland refers to Germany, and German in German is called as Deutsch. So, what are you people learning? Yes, you are learning German. And how do we say that? Ich lerne Deutsch. Was lernen Sie? Ich lerne Deutsch. What do you learn? You are learning German. So, once again see the sentences. Mein Name ist Prashali. Ich heiße Prashali. Ich bin Prashali. Ich komme aus Dehradun. I am from Dehradun, or I come from Dehradun. And ich wohne in Deutschland, I live in Germany. Then, how do we ask the profession? Yes, the sentence is, was sind Sie von Beruf? Let me say the sentence again for you. Was sind Sie von Beruf? Dear friends, Beruf in German means profession. Was sind Sie von Beruf basically means, what is your profession? So, for young learners like you can simply say, ich bin Student, or the girl students can say, ich bin Studentin. In German, we have different noun forms for girl students and boy students, and this also applies to other sets of noun. We will learn about that in detail in the upcoming sessions, but as of now, please understand that for boys, the word will be student, and for girl students, the word will be Studentin. Zum Beispiel, ich bin Studentin. If I have to say for myself that I am a student, I will say ich bin Studentin. So, student refers to boy student and Studentin refers to girl students. So, was sind Sie von Beruf? Ich bin Student or ich bin Studentin. So, what all sentences can you say in German in the introduction? To begin with, mein Name ist Prashali, ich komme aus Dehradun, ich wohne in Deutschland, ich lerne Deutsch, ich bin Lehrerin. Well, Lehrerin refers to German teacher and a lady teacher, and the similar word for a gentleman teacher would be Lehrer. Ich bin Lehrer for someone, for a gentleman who is teaching German, and ich bin Lehrerin for a lady who is teaching German. So, altogether the sentences that we have are: mein Name ist Prashali, ich komme aus Dehradun, ich wohne in Deutschland, ich bin Lehrerin. Are you able to understand them? Yes. So, let me ask you a couple of questions now. So, wie heißen Sie? Woher kommen Sie? Wo wohnen Sie? Was sind Sie von Beruf? Was machen Sie? Did it go really quickly? Don't worry, I'll repeat it once again for you. Wie ist Ihr Name? Or wie heißen Sie? Woher kommen Sie? Wo wohnen Sie? Was sind Sie von Beruf? Was machen Sie? Are you able to think of the answers or is it difficult? Don't worry, I'll quickly speak the sentences or the answers for you. So, the answers will be: mein Name ist Martin. Woher kommen Sie? Ich komme aus Dehradun. Wo wohnen Sie? Ich wohne in Dehradun. Was sind Sie von Beruf? Ich bin Student. Was machen Sie? Zurzeit lerne ich Deutsch. Zurzeit lerne ich Deutsch basically means that currently I am learning German. Was machen Sie? This question can be answered in several ways, but the thing that we are occupied with currently, usually we mention that. So, was machen Sie? In order to give a more clarity to our answer, we add zurzeit in that. So, zurzeit basically means something that we are occupied with in the present time. So, currently I am learning German. So, altogether the sentences become: mein Name ist Martin, ich komme aus Dehradun, ich wohne in Dehradun, ich bin Student, ich lerne Deutsch. So, altogether you can say these sentences when somebody asks you to introduce yourself in German. And do you know how do we ask to introduce oneself in German? Well, the sentence goes: bitte stellen Sie sich vor. And yes, that was the title that you read at the beginning of today's program, sich vorstellen. So, next time when somebody asks you this, bitte stellen Sie sich vor, I am sure you know what all sentences you have to say in response. Mein Name ist Martin, ich komme aus Dehradun, ich wohne in Dehradun, ich bin Student, ich lerne Deutsch. People, I hope you know that you can replace the word Martin with your names, replace the word Dehradun with the place of your origin, again replace the word in the next sentence with the place of your current stay, and so on. Well, this is not the only sentences which are usually spoken in introduction, but yes, to begin with, these are the basic sentences that we learn. In the later stage, one can also add his age, things regarding his liking or disliking, and any other thing that you would want to tell about yourself. The names of your parents, status of your family, and any other thing that you think should be a part of your introduction. So, how do you want to shape your introduction? That is entirely your choice, but yes, these are the basic sentences that you can begin with. So, people, I hope the basic sentences in German are a little bit clear to you, if not entirely. Don't forget to practice these sentences, speak up aloud, try to speak them as much as possible, try to repeat speaking it again and again, so that you become very fluent and comfortable speaking the sentences, and you do not feel that like you are speaking the sentence or the language for the very first time, or it's little unknown or foreign to you. So, do practice and get more and more comfortable with it. In next session, we are going to learn about the Fragen and everyday vocabulary. Well, yes, the topic that we have done today to some extent includes Fragen as well, but in the next program, we are going to discuss all this in great detail. So, people, that's all for today's session. I hope things were clear. So, das ist alles für heute. Danke sehr. Auf Wiedersehen.